Nah, go ahead. Go ahead.
No.
Tell me your woes, Darian.
So, oh my god, it does hurt. And it kind of is like, it is like the last time I was driving to meet up with my parents.
Yeah.
And my sister. We're going to eat food. And I was listening to a podcast on the way down, and it was making me laugh, as, some podcasts do. And I don't know how it happened, but I was laughing really hard, big, hearty, mouth wide open laugh. And my fucking jaw, I turned my head to look out one of my windows, and my jaw just popped. It hurt so bad, and then I could feel it swelling up around my jawline, right near my ear, and it hurt. And it hurt for 2 days. It hurt to open my mouth or yawn or do anything. It hurt to talk. It hurt to chew. I couldn't do anything for 2 days. It hurt so bad. And so that was probably 2 months ago. I think I did that in January. Maybe.
Why do you do this to yourself?
I don't do it on purpose.
You can. I mean, I guess that's just the life.
It is the life
of danger-prone Darian.
Shut the fuck up. It only came about because it only just happened. It nearly happened again because my jaw hurts really bad right now.
Yep. And with that, I follow Amicus out into the hallway.
You're not going to start the episode right?
Hello, everyone.
There you go.
Did you enjoy the riveting tales of danger-prone Darian?
I didn't enjoy it because I don't enjoy that name. I don't know who that is.
Oh, well, I mean...
My name is...
Everyone knows because, that was the file names of those clips that I put in the highlights video.
You trash. Actual garbage.
Did you not like Issa and I making fun of you during the...
It makes me laugh. It was very funny. It's very good. I laughed very, very much.
This is your life.
No, it's not. Did you ever release that episode?
Oh, an Echo now.
Yeah, okay.
I don't even know if I still have it. The lost episode of Echo.
The actual lost episode.
Yeah, where we podcasted for 30 minutes.
Only talked for 30. That's it. We just talked and didn't read at all. That would have been such a terrible episode to release.
That would... Imagine releasing an episode in which we only, read 3 lines of dialogue.
Oh, that would be the worst. But it'd be so funny.
No.
It's not my livelihood. I could do that. I'll talk about bullshit all day long.
Oh my god. So who's Kato?
The wolf you saw with my brother. He was my father's advisor and currently acting emperor. I mentioned earlier that he'll be choosing between me and my brother. That's why I'm doing my best to keep him in a good mood. Or at least not a bad mood. I think he has a good one. I don't think he's had a good one. Yeah.
I keep in mind to stay on Kato's good side as well. Meanwhile, sunlight pours in through the open window, and I can hear birds calling from outside again. Birds.
What was that?
I can hear birds. I'm just surprised they sound the same as they do on Earth.
Ah, yes. You wouldn't know it. You would know this. All life has the same origin and develops in roughly similar ways. It's only natural that life here is similar to your moon. Planet, I mean.
Oh.
Well, all life on this side of the universe, at least. There may be another, but we'll have to leave that conversation for later. For now...
I follow Amicus around a corner and find myself standing in a large, spacious room.
Are these screens or just the same painting?
Well, they're emanating some glow.
Okay, they're screens. They could be glowing paintings. You could have backlight.
The first thing I notice are the large screens
on
each wall of the room, displaying colorful images of stars, galaxies, and spaceships.
I just think it'd be really funny if it was 3 of the same painting in this room.
That would sound like something Johnny would do.
No, you're right, though.
I like this painting. I'll take 3. That sounds like such a, like, high-class white thing to
It's
do.
really funny. Speaking of Johnny, I talked with him today.
Uh-huh.
Well, I texted with him today.
Yeah.
And we had a discussion about Pokemon.
Yeah.
Are you someone, when you play Pokemon games, that you nickname them?
Oh, God, no. Well, I mean, technically I do.
Okay.
I just name them their
You name
Japanese
them the
names.
So you give them their true names back.
Yeah.
You release them from their slave names.
Facts.
Fair enough. Okay. I was talking to... Because pretty much every Pokemon game I play, Pokemon that I use... Like, so say Arceus, right?
Yeah.
You have to catch a bunch of all of the Pokemon, basically.
Yeah, I know how that game plays.
So, well, just saying, like, comparatively...
Yeah, you actually have to, like, catch Pokemon to progress in the story.
Yeah.
Like,
But, like, say in, like, the older ones, like, typically I'd try to catch one of everything in the area and then just kill the rest to level up.
oh, yeah, murder them.
And typically I would nickname everything I caught.
Mm-hmm.
Just, for funsies. But Johnny was never a nickname one and tried to defend himself today that, no, I did it this time. It's like, yeah, because you were doing a Nuzlocke and that's part of the rules. Well, I did it when we were doing our Crystal Challenge. Yeah, because I told you to nickname all of them. And then he shows me Pokemon Go. He's like, well, this one's nicknamed. Ignore the fine print at the bottom. And it was one that I traded him that had a name already on it. It's like, come on, bro. Come on.
Oh, man, I'm so glad we can make fun of Johnny all we want, because he'll never watch these.
It's really good.
In the middle of the room are what looks like a bed surrounding a table. And those beds are the 2 wolves I saw earlier. Oh.
Oh, they're hanging out.
Yeah. Kato is sitting and leaning over towards Cassius, who is draped luxuriously over one of the beds.
I'm just read.
Okay.
You don't have to stop.
I do, though. It puts you on the spot. It makes you feel bad.
Okay.
Kato is talking to Cassius while the other wolf has on his typical sour expression. Look at the sour face.
He is just RBF.
Yeah. Sitting on the floor in front of Cassius's bed is a creature that I've never seen before.
Oh, look at this fella.
Yeah. It's definitely not a wolf. More feline-like. Cassius has his paws on his head, idly scratching it while he listens to whatever Kato is saying. He sees us and abruptly stops, sitting up. Kato stops talking and looks over at us. You're late.
And good morning to you, Cass. And to you, Kato, Alexios.
Amicus turns to Kato and the small cat creature bowing to both of them.
Good morning. He has an accent, okay? In my head, that's the way it works. I know they're supposed to be like faux Italian, but I'm not even doing that because he's got a beer gruff, and that's just what he sounds like to me.
No, it's just funny.
Don't need to criticize.
It's funny. Morning, Amicus. The cat, Alexios, nods at Amicus with a smile. Yeah, at the same time, I see Cassius tug on the gold collar around his neck.
That's a collar?
Would you think it was a mug?
Yes, it looks like one. It's fucking crushing his goddamn windpipe. Like, holy shit. It's so tight.
Like cats, they can stick their head through anything.
I suppose so. It's a lot of fur, sure, but like, damn, it's like, it's gonna pop his head off.
Nah, he's fine. It isn't very much, but Alexios immediately drops a smile from his face, looking down.
Why does Alexios's line work looked a little different than the rest of them? He's got some more varied line, like.
I mean, there's a little bit of line variation.
I see it like along his head.
ear.
You know,
yeah.
His lines just look thicker.
I mean, like Cassius kind of has that as well.
Okay.
There is some line variation here. It is weird that these two have slightly thicker line art than Amy Boy.
Yeah,
But
but even Kato, Kato just has more uniformly thick line art. It looks like.
yeah, there's more variation with Alex's. Mm-hmm. How many times do I have to tell you not to acknowledge him, Amicus? Amicus seems to ignore Cassius, walking to an empty bed while pulling me along with him. He whispers in my ear.
Sit in front like Alex is doing.
I look over to the cat and see his ears perk up in our direction, though he continues to avoid looking at us. He's in a kneeling position, so I do the same, starting to feel a little uneasy about this whole setup. Amicus, meanwhile, stretches out across the bed, an elbow in the cushions as he props himself up.
Come. Come, send in breakfast.
Yes, Kato. A few seconds later, flying saucers levitate into the room from beyond another archway. I got a moment to see some sort of black device on an underside of the plates before they gently come to rest on the table. I blink but don't say anything, deciding to just take everything in without question. I decide instead to focus on the food. I can at least identify a few of the portions, one of them being what looks like bread. Then, there's a plate of an odd white, crumbly substance, and next to that is a bowl of what I'm pretty sure are olives. There's a glass bottle filled with some type of red liquid, probably wine. Finally, in the middle, next to some towel-like napkins, is roasted poultry, golden colored and steaming. It actually smells really good, and considering that I haven't eaten any real food in over a day, I feel my mouth water. Still, I have enough common sense to know that I probably can't just dig in, so I keep an eye on the cat, waiting to see what he does. He grabs 4 small plates from the tall stack and sets them down in front of him. Then he starts to grab some slices of bread, which he sets down on one of the plates. I look back at Amicus and he nods. So I do the same, grabbing 4 plates and setting them out in front of myself on the table, starting to grab the separate portions of food to set them down on their own plate. Meanwhile, Kato just leans over to grab his own while Cassius clears his throat. So, Amicus, what is this? I look up and immediately find Cassius's eyes boring into mine. I quickly look down and grab up the wood-handled knife that Alex just set down, using it to spread the white stuff onto a slice of bread. I wrinkle my nose at how stinky it is, and I realize it's probably some type of cheese.
This is Marco. He's my pet.
No, Amicus. What is it? It's not one of our children. Does it belong to a sibling? I'm half listening to the conversation while I see Alexios reach out with his bare paw and just pull a chunk of meat off of the poultry. I hesitate, kind of wishing I'd had a chance to wash my hands, but do it anyway. Oh no, but COVID though. Wincing at how hot it is.
Oh man, how well do you think they would have done in COVID? Yeah. Think they'd have done all right.
Yeah, I mean COVID didn't affect animals that much, did it?
Not that I'm aware of. I'm really not sure. There's other variations and variants that animals can catch, but the ones that affect humans are the ones that have been most tracked, I suppose.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The temptation is strong just to stuff it in my mouth, but I managed to set it down on the plate. Finally, I grab up a bunch of olives and put them on their own plate. At this point, I can see that Alex is lining his plates up in front of Cassius on the bed. Carefully, I do the same for Amicus, though I lose an olive in the process. I watch it roll across the ground, but decide to ignore it, and Amicus just pats my head with a muttered, "Thank you."
No, he's from a failed uplift.
I watch as Alex starts filling a goblet with red liquid, but look up when I realize there is a complete silence. Cassius and Kato are both staring at Amicus. I look back at him and see that he looks pretty calm, though I can see him picking at his claws. Are you serious?
Yes.
Why? He's a barbarian.
Because I've decided the abandoned children deserve to re-establish regular contact. If we're to unite with the Chemians, then we also need to unite ourselves.
I start filling Amicus's goblet as I feel his eyes on me.
Child or not, having a pet like this will show the Chemians my intentions.
Cassius scoffs loudly, popping an olive in his mouth and chewing it vigorously. A masterful stunt, Amicus, but you still stole Father's ship to get there. Using stretch tech without authorization from the Emperor is a violation of law, is it not, Kato? I hand the goblet to Amicus, silently wondering if the wolf is going to be thrown in jail my first day here. What would happen to me then? Still, Amicus looks calm, and when he sees my wide eyes, he just winks.
It could be, but there's no Emperor, is there, Cassius?
Kato finally lays back, his small plates heaping high with food. He turns his head back to Amicus.
Are you saying you piloted the ship to the outer reaches of our empire? Voice commands only work for the Emperor, if I'm not mistaken. That is correct. I learned to navigate the ship on my own. I was also able to communicate with their people, negotiate, and sign a contract with them.
This is where I start to hear Amicus's voice falter. I actually do believe now that he doesn't lie often, because it's clear that he's so bad at it. I copy Alex and return to my Neil Gaiman position.
Like Neil Gaiman position.
Next to the bed, and then switch to a cross-legged one when my knees get too sore. Kato watches from his bed silently, and I again feel unnerved at the feeling that he might be looking at me.
You can't tell. Fascinating.
Cassius curls his lips back. Fascinating. He used the stretch drive. He's going to get away with it because Father is dead? What does that make all of the other laws? Can a beggar now steal from markets because there is no authority to tell him not to? Can a child rebel from the Empire because there is no emperor to tell them?
Quiet, Cassius. You know the circumstances as well as I do.
Cassius snaps his mouth shut with a huff, turning his attention back to his food, which he starts to pick up. The conversation seems to stop there, and I wonder if Amicus is in the clear. While Cassius seemed indignant, I get the feeling that Amicus wasn't in any danger in the first place. I guess that's the Emperor's son. Being the Emperor's son has its perks.
Can you get me some more of the Azure, Marco? Azure. Maybe it's supposed to be something Italian. Azure.
You gonna Google it?
No.
Wow.
Well, because
you pull out your phone
because it's spelt just like Azure, like the color, but
like the Blue Eyes support card.
Yeah,
Azure Dragon,
or like
you tag Spirit of White into Azure Dragon to get a some nice protection during your turn. It's cool. Bad.
All right then.
It was like good in 2016.
Okay. Didn't know that. Cool. Good to know. Good to know. Good to know. Good to know.
You know, for when you eventually build your Blue Eyes deck and cosplay Seto Kaiba.
Oh, truly. Such the vibes I give off. Do I give off Seto Kaiba vibes?
I don't know. Would you rather build Dark Magician?
But Dark Magician's really bad.
Yeah, it is. All three of them are. Like, between, like, Red Eyes, Blue Eyes, and Dark Magician. Like, all three decks are terrible.
Okay.
Blue Eyes is the most playable. Because the Kaiba supremacy truly exists.
Yeah, the Kaiba tax is a very real thing.
But the hero tax is even worse.
I believe it. I believe it.
And that's the most playable.
What about Toons?
Toons have never been playable.
That sucks.
It's a bad deck.
But they're fun looking.
You're right. You play like 3 in the deck. When you play a tune deck, you play a tune engine.
Okay. You just splash it into something?
No, like more than half your deck is like spell and traps, and you like splash in a couple tunes.
You just have a brick. You just...
The tunes themselves are bricks.
That's awesome. I love that a lot, actually.
Because you don't want to open more than like 1 tune.
Fair enough.
It's bad.
I'll play Black Luster instead.
Oh my god, that deck's terrible. I look over to the table for a moment in confusion. What's that? I try to keep my voice low, but that's when Cassius suddenly yowls, clasping a paw over his head. Oh goodness! Oh gods! It doesn't speak the language? I look between Cassius and Amicus in confusion.
Of course not. They were abandoned. Most of the abandoned still speak the language. How far away is his home star? Roughly 50,000 light years.
I don't care. Don't have him speak again. The last thing I need is a headache from the lingua manually translating everything he says. It's barbaric. I don't know if he's calling the headache barbaric or me. Probably me. Upload its language into the Nexus before you let it out in public again, Amicus. I decide I really don't like Cassius. He's talking about me like I'm just a piece of property. I mean, but
No.
I mean, from his perspective, you really are.
Just a little bit. You're kind of like up shit creek, bro. Like,
Right.
You have really no other choice but to kind of go along with it.
Facts. Then I feel Amicus's paw on my shoulder for a moment, giving a soft squeeze before pulling back again. The conversation topic then shifts to stuff I don't really understand, mostly politics and the Chemians, whatever that is. Despite their fight earlier, Amicus and Cassius are pretty animated in their conversation. Amicus keeps sticking empty plates in my face. Excuse me. Indicating that I should refill them. It's clear that I'm not going to be eating while the wolves are, and I feel my irritation grow. I'm not a servant. I didn't agree to this, and even if this is supposed to help me blend in, I can't help but feel Amicus could have put me in a better position than this. Virginia sent me a letter last night saying that she'd be bringing back a Chemian tomorrow. He got trapped here before the stretch drive he got trapped here after the stretch drive depletion.
Oh? He wasn't able to return on the retrieval ship?
He was on Anchorus at the time, so it took him several months to get back to Adastra. He's going to be our guest until the next ship arrives. I think it will be quite interesting to see one in person. Who can say that they've met 2 siblings? Cassius reaches down and starts stroking Alex's head for... the green and gray cat closes his eyes, smiling and purring. I watch this for a moment, then freeze up as I feel Amicus's paw on my head. He starts to gently scratch his blunt claws into my scalp, ruffling my hair around. It actually feels real good, but knowing what he's doing gets me pissed all over again. He already knows I don't want to be doing this, that he brought me here against my own will. Now he's stroking me in public like I actually am his pet. Well, I guess it makes sense. I guess he's doing this part to help me blend in, just like I'm doing mine. But that doesn't mean I don't hate it. And then his other paw sticks his empty goblet down my nose, under my nose.
More wine, please.
Oh my god. I let the goblet hang in the air for a moment, then take it, reach out robotically for the heavy wine bottle, getting up on my knees to better pour it into the empty goblet. I fill it up as Amicus continues to stroke me.
I'll bet even fewer can say they've met an abandoned species, wouldn't you think?
Cassius glares at Amicus, and I glare at the and I glare at the wine. I try to remind myself that this is just just to help me get home. Or maybe he realizes just how showing. Wait. Or maybe he actually is just showing me off because he likes how he's getting under Cassius's fur. I turn on my knees to face the wolf and hand back his goblet, noticing how full it is, and the wine almost splashing over the rim. Amicus reaches out for the goblet. Ah. My fingers twitch. Then I feel the goblet slip out of my hand, watching it as it falls in slow motion onto the side of the bed. The wine shoots out in a red gush, splashing across Amicus's lighter furred front. The wolf gasps, sitting up suddenly as the wine pours down his chest and stomach and onto his pants.
Damn.
Meanwhile,
What a smug little shit.
oh yeah, he's great. Meanwhile, Cassius bursts out laughing behind me, snorting obnoxiously. Maybe there's a reason so few have ventured out to meet them, Amicus. I see Alex staring at me, but when I meet eyes with him, he looks down. Amicus reaches over for one of the towels, glancing down at me as he does. I try to keep myself from smirking, but I think I fail. He pauses, staring at me in astonishment as I guess he realizes that I did it on purpose. He doesn't look angry though, but instead grabs up the towel and starts patting down his front. The fur is still stained dark maroon. What are you doing, Amicus? Cassius has finished his laughing, and I look over to see him staring at us.
What do you mean, what am I doing? I'm cleaning up the mess.
Amicus growls at Cassius, continuing to pat himself down. Dear gods, you really don't know how to do this. Punish it! Cassius lazily flops his paw in the air in a slapping motion. I snap my gaze to Amicus, glaring again.
What? No, I can't do that.
Why not?
It's in the contract. No physical punishments, just like Alexios's.
What?
You heard me.
Alexios is a sibling. It's barely even a child.
He is mine and none of your business.
Punishment is the only way to teach the lesser species, Amicus. He looks at me. You, creature, up. I'll hit you instead.
Damn. Cassius!
I jump. So does Cassius, ears ringing as Amicus's deep voice bellows over me. Meanwhile, Kato just lounges on his bed, listening, or maybe not.
I'll make this very clear right now. You are never to lay a paw on him, or give him orders of any kind.
Cassius, having recovered, raises an eyebrow at Amicus. And if I do, brother?
I'll beat the shit out of you.
Amicus's fur starts to lay flat on his shoulders, again as he shrugs.
I'll punch you.
What? You can't do that. Ugh, we're not pups anymore.
And if you call him it again, I'll do the same.
Cassius seems to choke for a moment. What in the world has gotten into you, Amicus? He looks at the older wolf. Kato?
Yes, Cassius?
Well, do something. You can't threaten me like that.
Amicus, be nice to your brother. Bless. Bless him. That's so funny.
Cassius's ears turn bright red, and he slumps on his bed, glaring at his remaining food.
Anyway, if you two are finished, then be off to your studies. Don't be late this time, Amicus. Your tutor complained again last week. That's today. You know, you should take care and start paying more attention. After seeing what you accomplished, I'm starting to lean toward trials and making my decision.
The room suddenly goes very quiet.
And Cassius, I need to speak with you for a moment before you leave.
Amicus gets to his feet, and I do the same. The wolf glances at Cassius and Kato, but they're deep in conversation. He turns back to me.
I forgot that it's my study day, so I'll be gone for a little while. I'm going to ask Alexios to show you around and give you something to do while I'm away.
I feel myself grow tense at the idea of being without the only person I know around here. Seriously?
Listen, you don't have to do anything. I'll make it clear to everyone. But I feel you might rather have something to do rather than sit in my room all day.
I don't know.
I mean, like sitting there with nothing to do at all.
Ask for a PS Vita.
Oh, they probably have the Vita. That's probably the only. They probably invented the Vita and then stopped making other consoles and just continue to make games for the Vita.
Just support the Vita forever.
Yeah,
what a beautiful culture.
They made like a Sony, like they made like an actual dock for you to like do like switch things with it, but then they made a controller that just uses the Vita buttons, like a separate, like a separate controller that
it just has the face buttons and oh my god,
it'd be perfect.
I mean, it's funny because the Vita basically has a dock.
Basically, but
look, I think you can. Back in the day, I think you could buy the. I don't know how much was a Vita at full price. Was it $200?
I don't remember. I bought mine secondhand.
And the Vita TVs were $100.
Yeah, they were like cheap for
yeah,
Vita TV.
And it's like, oh my god, you can just get them both and just like, bruh.
like if you could have the Vita TV and use the Vita as the controller, that kind of would have been perfect.
Right.
But
I'm so mad that you can't record on the Vita TV.
Like you can't do capture of any kind?
No.
Really?
So you know how the PS4 has that copyright thing that prevents it from you recording with capture cards?
Uh-huh.
And you have to like turn off that setting. So the Vita TV has that as well, but it doesn't have the option to turn it off.
Oh, that sucks.
Right?
Damn. That's bullshit.
At first I was like, maybe I'll just stream Persona 2, like the only good Persona game.
But you can't. Damn.
I can stream Persona 3 because I have that on the PS3.
Persona 3 on the PS3?
Yeah, remember they have the PS2 library on. Like,
oh, true.
They have the digital store
True.
stuff.
True. So that, but they don't. But you couldn't access those on the PS3 either.
Oh, so like the problem is that the re-release of Persona 2 is only on PSP. So I play that on the Vita. So I can't put it on the PS3.
That is so trash, dude.
I know.
Might just have to hack your Vita.
I don't think you can hack that to make it so you can record on it.
You might. Well, I mean,
or maybe I can, and I'm just stupid, and that is a very possibility.
I mean, maybe not do it with the Vita. There might be a way for you to hack the Vita TV.
That's what I mean. Like to make it so I can.
There's probably a way. There's probably tutorials out there. Come on, for the Persona 2 visibility, it's so important.
Literally, no one cares about Persona 2, and I'm sitting there crying over that game. Like, these are the best characters in the franchise. Like,
it's so important.
Akichi and Lisa make all the best friend characters look bad by comparison. Like Yukari, Chie.
Yosuke? Are you talking about the girl?
Not Junko. There we go. That's her name.
And, like, just 3 letters. 2 of them. 2 letters, 1 repeated twice.
I barely remember her character. I remember that she just wouldn't stop eating. And I'm like, is this your gag? She's the hot model girl that can eat no matter what. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. And, like, it's even worse for the guys. Because it's like, you have Akichi. And he's, like, one of the best written party members in the franchise.
I mean,
and his archetype like counterparts in each game are fucking Junpei, Yosuke, and Ryuji. Like, what a downgrade! Those compared to Akichi.
Of the 3, which one would you pick?
I mean, probably Ryuji because he's the best party member of the 3. He's got charge. He's got charge.
That's true.
That just makes him a good party member.
I mean, like, Junpei doesn't, like, he stops being useful.
So the problem,
fast.
there's a problem I have at Junpei, in that he has slash and fire, and those are the same attributes Koromaru has.
So like, literally toss him out for the superior version.
I will have this dog.
I will use this dog instead of this man. It's fine.
Right? Just toss him.
I didn't think Yosuke was a bad party member, though.
He has no high tier physical attacks. He only has Garu, and he has less support abilities than Naoto. So he doesn't really have like anything going for him other than his speed stat, and your party members don't matter in that game. So
Facts. That's kind of facts. You just do all the work
you
yourself.
just think you do all the legwork.
Yeah, that's true.
Like for me, it's like, okay, so I'll have Kanji because best girl, and Naoto because best girl,
Facts.
and miscellaneous. You can have anyone in that third slot because it doesn't matter.
Typically Yukiko, probably.
I usually use Yukiko.
Yeah.
And Golden specifically because she can learn Mudo.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
that's pretty good.
you mean I can have 3 party members with insta-kill spells? That's all I'm hearing.
think I'm set. Because I mean,
blessed.
Alternatively, without Yukiko, you really just have Teddy, Chie, and Yosuke.
Yeah, but I prefer probably not.
Okay, I don't think so.
I prefer Kanji to Chie because sex appeal, and
Facts.
and like Yukiko, I actually think is kind of funny. And
her gag is very funny.
Like Teddy's an obnoxious loser. Which still makes him arguably better than Morgana.
Oh, he's way better than Morgana. I would pick Teddy over Morgana any fucking day of the week.
I got angry listening to Morgana's. Well, Teddy, I'm like, you know what? I don't like Teddy, and I don't like Teddy's design. But I can also put him in the Alice costume, and that is a plus.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's a good point. Man. I remember Golden.
Next playthrough is going to be P3.
Oh, ooh, that would be so fun.
It would not.
I would love that.
Fuck that.
It wouldn't be fun for anyone to watch, but I would have a good time.
I feel like I would stream that game just because you have to do so much.
You do
grinding.
so much, dude.
Yeah, and because Persona, I don't have any way to record Persona 4 because that's on Golden. So it's like
only the Vita.
I have my Vita, and like I have my deck with a 99 strength that I just love using.
You freaking busted up this Melchizedek deck. And then
I have Melchizedek with Reflect Physical and like Hamon Mudo, like the God Hand charge.
And then you just like blew through half the rest of the whole fucking
and
game.
I'm just
basically.
like, I don't need party members.
I have Melchizedek. But that's because he's really
my
good.
Prosona.
Like facts though. He's really good. Oh my god.
It's good. We'll see you around, everyone. Thank you for coming to the Persona cast.